Hello everybody and welcome to Thruxton for another round of the Virtual Circuit Racing TCR Championship this season. Just 4 weeks to go now until October 3rd when we'll be crowning our champion at Croft to be the final round of our season. And very much in the last few weeks we've got a bit of a runaway leader with Traffic King taking a couple of good solid results. In fact, finishing in the top 3 of point scorers in all 5 of the rounds so far. But this time round it's going to be something different again here from Thruxton. The only time we're visiting this circuit this season as we take a trip across the UK and a brief trip to Monza, of course, earlier on in the season as well over the course of this schedule. Myself, Ian and James Parfitt will take you through the action tonight from Thruxton, your hometown circuit, as it were, James, and a very, very fast circuit, as we know as well. I think, you know, of all the cars in the world, I think TCRs probably do suit this circuit better than most.
Absolutely. It is 45 minutes from my house. That's about as close as I can get to a race circuit from where I live. And it is, yeah, it's deemed the fastest circuit in the UK once you go out of Noble through Goodwood, Village, Church, Brooklands, and then down into Club, of course. And this circuit is primarily, I would probably say, TCR class-based racetrack. This is an incredibly great circuit for TCRs. I've watched the BTCC at Thruxton and they were absolutely amazing, and this circuit is just absolutely incredible. If you've never been or if you've never watched anything, I've watched Superbikes around here as well and they were amazing at the same time, and it is some of the speeds on the bikes though was absolutely bonkers going through this part of the race circuit. But I think this race tonight is going to be amazing. I love Thruxton. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a very long way away from everybody, really. But
it's not very. It's not far away from me. It's close for me. Just every other circuit in the UK is blinking far away.
And also, yeah, I mean, it's a very long way down the southwest of England, which means it's a very, very long way away in my mind, anyway. So
that's because you're very, very far up north, young sir.
I'm not very far up north. I'm right in the centre of England.
That's far. Anything north of Watford is very, very high.
that is heinous.
Anyway.
It's
true. It's true. Unfortunately, it's true. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Southerners. Anyway.
Don't start picking on Southerners all of the time. What is going on here this evening? You're picking on me already, young sir.
I don't know what the split is in this this league actually for Southerners versus Northerners actually. But,
I don't know. We'll put it out there. If you watch it back, drivers, let us know in the comments whether or not you're from the south of England or from the north of Watford. There you go. Yeah,
we'll have a straw poll, see where the centre of gravity is for the league. There we are. But anyway, just less than 8 minutes to go in qualifying. Just well, more than enough time for me to go through the standings the way it currently looks. Traffic King now leads by 60 points. I was here a couple of weeks ago for the Oulton Park round, and well, it was very close then. Good couple of weeks from King, and that gap has very much extended out. Just a further 7 points back from Josh Haythwaite, who's second is Luke Woodhouse, with Chris McIntosh not that far away either now in that fourth position. McIntosh with a third best score from last week's race, which means that he gained on both Haythwaite and Woodhouse. Dave Price is then fifth place with a bit of a gap really ahead and behind him. Lee Southall, Matthew Addy and Ben Hayes then are the 3 drivers who are very close for sixth place, and then behind that it's big gaps outside of the top 8. But yeah, it's been remarkable, especially these last couple of weeks, the way Traffic King has gone about this. Scored the most points at Oulton Park by some way, gained 19 on Haythwaite and 33 on Woodhouse. And 35 on McIntosh. Gained a lot of points on everybody there, and then just backed it up solidly at Snetterton, even while he had one of the heavier cars. So yeah, he's looking good so far, and he will have a bit of weight on here as well, but because he was still second in points last week. But he's shown that the ballast doesn't really seem to affect him too much. He can still go well, even if he's got that extra ballast on board.
Yeah, well, I think we broke it down. We were talking earlier before we went live, and literally, you know, we work it out at 60 kilos for first place, and you said something very interesting to me, and it didn't really make me think about it a lot until just a minute ago when you turned around and was like, 60 kilos is less than a person. And it is, because I'm 85 kilos, and I don't really know if the ballast is doing what it's kind of set there to do, because potentially Traffic King at the moment is just 50 kilos of ballast, but it ain't slowing him down. So I do wonder whether or not they need to look at, a bigger area of ballast and say, right, you're going to now get 100 kilos or 150 kilos, because you are right, 60 is not a lot in conjunction, and I think it's probably less than 10 stone, isn't it, or something? Is that in the back of that car?
I don't know.
Hold on, I'm on it now.
Stone and pounds completely incomprehensible to me, to be honest with you. Kilograms are much better.
No, they're not. It's 9.44 stone, which is, nowadays, it's not a lot, to be blatantly honest. So I do wonder whether or not Luke should look at sitting there going, actually, you know what, you need more. So maybe they might bring it in.
Yeah, I can't remember what the BTCC maximum weight is. I thought it was something like 90, which is, getting towards a bit of a taller or heavier person, depending on which dimension the weight is coming from. But yeah, 90 is a lot more significant, and that's a lot more sort of like it, really. But there you go. Maybe I've remembered that wrong, and it's not entirely the case anymore that it's 90 kilograms. But
they don't apparently they don't use the ballast no longer.
No, it's just the hybrid energy now.
Since the 2022 season, it has been replaced by the hybrid power management system. Okay. And for the 2025 season, the BTCC has discontinued its hybrid program and now uses a turbo boost system to provide a performance boost with the amount of boost regulated according to a car and driver's success. The hybrid system was replaced by 100% sustainable fuel, resulting in lighter, nimble cars.
I mean, what happened to just weight?
I don't know. What's happened just going down Weymouth and chucking sand in your boot? Anyway, you know what I mean?
Weight, I think works better, but there you go. Anyway, to be fair, I've not watched a BTCC race for a while, so maybe the boost that you get does actually make a big difference, and I just don't really understand because I've not seen it, but there you go.
I don't really know.
I don't know one of those people talking about something I've not ever seen before.
No, I kind of agree with you. I haven't really watched much BTCC this season, so I can't really sort of work out what's going on, and I didn't go and watch it at Thruxton either. I was busy, unfortunately.
Maybe it's a really good overtaking tool, and we're just talking about something we don't know about. But
maybe it could be like DRS. You know what I mean? Just brings fake racing as such. You know what I mean? Because let's face it, if you got DRS, you don't really have to do a lot of overtaking on pure merit, do you? Just get within a second, open up your rear wing, and you're past them by the time you get to the start. So, a bit boring, really.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Anyway. Got weight for this series, and apparently for 2021, the last time they used weight, it was 60 kilograms. So maybe it is in line with what it was like
just
before.
Doesn't seem a lot.
Come from.
It doesn't seem a lot,
really.
No, it don't really. It's just like chucking my daughter in the back of the car, and she's only 8. You know what I mean?
8?
Well, maybe she don't weigh
60 kilograms.
No, all right, maybe not. She's
Goodness
not that.
Me.
Jesus Christ, she ain't that heavy, mate. You know what I mean? She ain't a McDonald's kid. You know what I mean? Let's just put it that way. So no, maybe not. Maybe it might be more chucking me son in the back who's 12.
Say like I was just say maybe a teenager or something. But I didn't wear that when I was a teenager, so I don't know.
Do you know what? Let's just put it. I was going to chuck both my boys in the back of your car. That's your ballast. All right.
But you can't replicate them for 13 people. That's the problem. You need 26 kids for that, and you haven't got that many quite.
No, I haven't. You're right. Jesus Christ, if I had 26, I'd be skint. You'd have no money left, would you?
Dear.
And how do you even work that out in a lifetime? I'd be still having kids when I'm 60. It just wouldn't go well. Yeah. No. Anyway, welcome into our YouTube chat. If you have joined us at this really bizarre moment of the broadcast, we're 1 minute 42 away from the end of quality. We've got Luke House leading the way on a 1:13.731 as well. Tell us what we got coming up tonight anyway, Mr. O'Leary, because we haven't done that yet.
Of course, yeah. Well, this is one of our 4 reverse grid rounds that we've got. So 2 to 15-minute races like the normal schedule we have for this series. However, race 2 will be a full grid reversal, as will Brands Hatch, which is the penultimate round, coming up in 2 weeks' time. We've already had half of our reverse grid races. They came at Alton Park, and the week before that at Silverstone GP circuit as well. But tonight is a reverse grid race, and I I need to dig through again and look at the look through for the points. But I'm deducing from the the standings that.
What are you doing?
Deducing?
What is that?
Deducing. Working out.
Why don't you just say that? It sounds a lot easier to say than that one.
No, it is easy to say, but I couldn't quite wrap my mouth around it. Anyway, right. I couldn't quite find it, but I'm guessing that there are more points available for a reverse grid round, and that is why this round, and indeed in 2 weeks' time, is going to be a little bit more valuable in terms of points, because the last time we had a reverse grid, 69 points was the most points scored by Traffic King. Last week, for example, Jake Hewlett scored just 42. That was the most of anybody. So, yeah, I'm presuming that reverse grids have more points.
I think they just double the point system. It's 40 points for a win, right? I think it's just 80 if you win both. We'll see tonight. I'm sure somebody might go and do it. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Excited, coming to the end of quali as of right now. Andy King, come on, TK42 ballast. What ballast? Traffic King.
Traffic King,
it doesn't make it. I don't know if that amount of ballast, 50 kilos, just makes a difference.
60, but yeah, it probably doesn't.
He's got less than Jake Hewlett.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Thank you. I did listen to what we were talking about earlier on.
Yeah, 50 kilograms for second place, and only the top 9 get ballast. So I thought 10th place got ballast as well, but actually Ben Givens isn't going to get any. But anyway, that's
by the by.
Yeah, it's not really relevant, is it? I suppose.
No.
Less than 2 tenths of a second then separate the top 3 as qualifying just draws to a close. Luke Woodhouse, Josh Hefthwaite and Traffic King just separated by 2 tenths of a second. And you'd expect that from around this circuit. Normally we'd be celebrating a very close session, but you don't really expect anything else from this circuit. It's very short, and there's actually not too many places you can make up time because a lot of the corners are quite high speed.
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, you've got the beginning section through the left-hander going in, the right-hander up to Allard, through Allard. Then you've got the kink and the left-hander. Campbell Cobb, you've got your opportunities to overtake there. Club chicane at the end, that's pretty much it. Unless somebody runs wide through Goodwood Village Church, you might get the overtake done as well, because once you hit the grass, you are off in yonder, should we say.
Well, the session will just move forward in a moment, and the first of our 15-minute races will be underway here from Thruxton. It's actually quite a long run down towards turn 1 here, so the start will be quite important. Well, not turn 1, I should say, the first braking zone. Allard is not actually that far away from the start-finish line, but it's also flat out on the first lap, so it's that run all the way towards Campbell, which is where you'll be looking in towards turn 3, and that will be first braking zone of the race. But these sessions in AC do take quite a while to move forward, so
they do.
We'll just have to wait for it for a moment. But
we will.
There you go. Not like we've not been talking rubbish anyway through the qualifying session. We've had to continue.
We've had an utter waffle session this time. I don't know what's going on here this evening. I don't know. Maybe the full moon or something, Mr. O'Leary, and we just utterly...
Is it full moon?
I have no idea, darling, to be blatantly honest with you, and I think we've just had a complete and utter waffle session throughout quality. But I'm sure at the end of the day, this is why people come and see and watch us. This is what it is. This is the purpose of it.
Well, I suppose so. Yeah, so there you go. But
it's either that or they just got nothing better to do on a Friday night. One of the two.
Well, I know, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, to be fair, if you're looking for a bit of sim racing on a Friday evening, there doesn't seem to be too many leagues about on a Friday evening for whatever reason. So there you go.
That's because it's Friday. Most people have social lives and go out.
Yeah, but why is Saturday busier than Friday? Saturday's a much better social day than Friday. But anyway,
I don't know.
That's more waffle. Anyway, the drivers pull onto the front straight, and looks like we're almost set and ready to go. Luke Woodhouse has taken the pole position and will hope to regain some of these points because he's currently over 50 behind, over 60 behind Traffic King leading this championship. Let's see how we get on from Thruxton in the latest round of the VCR TCR Championship. And we are underway. Not a great start from Woodhouse on the front, and Josh Hefthwaite gets off to a much better launch. pulls alongside immediately as they go through turn number 1. Immediately stuck up on the inside curve there, Woodhouse as well, as they nearly make door-to-door contact. Here comes Traffic King in the background. He chooses the outside to go on the inside for the second part, maybe. Breaks late, 3 wide in fact. Oh, very long way round for Traffic King, but he'll get the inside for the next part if he stays there. Oh my goodness, 3 wide for the lead, and through the middle, Luke Woodhouse looks like he's going to retain the lead from pole position. What a great start, and Haythwaite now goes straight to the side of King. Southall can't go anywhere. Price is in there as well. Goodness me, what a lively start through the first chicane.
How did Woodhouse hold on to that? He was absolutely inundated with people coming at him here, and they're still going in the background. Southfield has got lost in position to Price. McIntosh is running wide. Price is now off in yonder. This is where I said you don't want to be. Look, you just keep going down the grass because the track goes the other way. Now Price has come back on. He's made contact there as well with Moss, and he's off again. He's got an Audi lawnmower here this evening at Thruxton. But what is going on here with these guys currently? Haythwaite is in second place. King is in third, and Woodhouse leading the way.
He definitely cut that chicane, but whatever, as he comes out of the final corner for the first time over the line. And King goes down the inside, look at that, tries to go for this on the way towards turn number 1. And Haythwaite just has to give him the room on the inside line there. Oh, and look at that in the background. Southall gets close, nearly 3 wide into this section for a second time, but King comes down the inside and gets through. Nicely done from Traffic King, who is now ahead of Haythwaite, and Southall watches behind. That first lap battle has really given Woodhouse a big lead here, and I'm not sure that's going to be brought back again in just 15 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know if it will be, especially with the fact that we got King and Haythwaite having a ding-dong behind him. Hayes has just gone past Gibbons. Unfortunately, well, he's literally there. Gibbons still tucked in right behind him at the moment, but you are right. It's whether or not King can escape Haythwaite. If they cannot get away from Haythwaite at the moment, these two are going to continue to fight. And look who's in the rearview mirror as well. Southall's there. King takes a very, very tighter line. It does look like them tyres are kind of not there in AC, as Lee Southall runs up the inside now as well into the final club chicane. He's looking through the right. He's going to get the job done. I don't know where the cut line counts at this one. I know there was a message put out about it in front for off tracks in Thruxton as well, but Southall goes through on Haythwaite and gets the job done.
Side by side just in the background as well, McIntosh, Hayes and Addy very close into turn number 1. As the leaders get single filed out here for the first time in a couple of laps. McIntosh keeps that 5th place, although challenged there by Hayes and Addy, who are nearly side by side themselves as well. And look at the queue behind as well. They're all queuing right the way down to 13th actually. The whole field, well, the whole rest of the field anyway, caught up in this group, and finally they're single file on the way into this middle part of the lap, the middle sector if you like, through Noble there and now into Goodwood as well. This is where we saw Price go very wide and cut the grass on the outside there, and outside of the circuit it does need a bit of cutting actually. It's pretty long, the grass, but anyway, Price took it on itself to do exactly that, and he's down in 11th as a result of it. A little bit wider from Hayes there as Addy gets a little bit closer, and they come towards the final chicane, which is normally the place where you see most moves being made.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just reading about track limits when we were on board with Matthew Addy going through Church, and he took a lot of the inside as well. Oh, gee whiz, Batman. Gibbons is sat in the middle of the circuit. He literally got the final chicane wrong and thumped the inside tyre barrier as well. Ben Gibbons has not done himself any favours whatsoever. Burnett is in pit lane, but Woodhouse out in front, and look at Southall now. He's got past King. Haythwaite's coming in behind him, and McIntosh is not too far away. Vicky says it was fun listening to us waffling qualifying.
If you've got any more to donate to put in the back seat to give them a bit of weight, then let us know as well. There you go. But anyway, Ben's can't quite provide enough. Into the middle sector for Southall, who's in his newfound second place, and King next in line, under pressure here because the momentum's gone away from him. Here comes Haythwaite looking down the inside on the way towards Church. Oh, he's not quite got that corner right at all. Oh, he's going to end up in the grass as well. Only a wheel off, thankfully, but still not ideal as he now goes towards the final chicane. A look down the inside there from King, but no, not close enough. And there goes the lock-up, the smoke screen for everybody to deal with through that final chicane. they're all taking liberties with the final chicane track limits, I've got to say. But anyway, Southwell leads the group, and King has stopped the momentum from going the wrong way. He can now maybe focus on making a pass.
Yeah, I will give you an update. A final chicane is one of those places track limits is still on, but it only triggers when you touch the grass. So taking the green inside curve is legal until you go beyond and touch the grass, which then gives an invalidation. So there you go. It's apparently very temperamental, so you have to be careful. So yeah, that's the answers on the final chicane cutting that's taking place at the moment.
Yeah, that is a good explanation, because it's a very severe amount of cutting you can see on the circuit at the moment, as the drivers again come through the back half of the lap again here. King behind Southwell, then Haythwaite, all in a line here, and well, King is again not close enough, I don't think, in towards the final chicane, but let's see, because they are going over the curb so much through here, it actually makes it more difficult to overtake as well. And again, King is nowhere near close enough here on Southwell. Goes a little bit wider than Southwell through the first spot. Straighter exit and a better exit as well for Southwell, who just clips the grass a little bit. Now might need to defend, as Haythwaite's made a big mistake. He might have even spun through that chicane in the background. He's going to... oh no, he didn't spin entirely, but he did lose momentum, and he loses 4th place as well.
He has at the moment as well, as Haythwaite has gone down behind McIntosh now. You see him in the background, there he is there, with Matthew Addy tucked up right behind him at the same time. But McIntosh, Haythwaite, Addy, I'm sure that battle's going to be coming at the same time. Where it depends if McIntosh can get away. That's going to be more the situation. Price is trying to escape from Moss. Moss is down at the bottom at the moment. Bosworth is down there at the same time. But Woodhouse 2.3 seconds out in front, 7.5 minutes to go. And at the moment, he was lucky to survive lap 1. But now, currently, he's survived all of the whole race just purely because these 3 at the back after lap 1 were going in an absolute ding-dong, and they didn't leave each other alone. So Woodhouse just said, thank you very much, I'm off, son.
Well, yeah. Oh dear, who was that? Hayes was that, going very wide over the grass there. And he gets a good run on Haythwaite, whose momentum is going the wrong way, and he brakes late on the outside. Can he get that stopped in time? This is, of course, the section of corners where he went off and had his trouble last time out. He gets it right this time. Addy, meanwhile, comes in pit lane.
Yeah, I wonder if he's got... no, he ain't got to drive through, he's just straight through. So Haythwaite's now free to go at McIntosh currently at the moment as well. 1 minute, what were they doing? 15.5. So currently Woodhouse's last lap, 1 minute 14.3. So Woodhouse is definitely escaping up the road. 14.4 for the 14.6, sorry, 14.7 and 15.5 for Trafford King. So not a good lap for Trafford King.
No, it's the front 3 now getting a lot more spaced apart, I've got to say. Woodhouse, Southwell and King. They should finish on the podium in their respective places, I would imagine, at the end of this race. But let's see. McIntosh is then 4th place. I suppose Southwell's not that far ahead of King. McIntosh then 4th place ahead of Haythwaite. And these are a couple of drivers who are fighting for championship points here. 2nd and 4th place in the championship. At the moment, Woodhouse is going to gain points on King. These two are going to lose it, but they need to limit their losses here. Haythwaite comes down the inside, and he regains that 4th place after his spin a couple of laps ago.
Yeah, you can see, oh, there's the grass. There's the grass. Does that give an invalidation? Well, they're going to run side by side up through Allard at the moment. McIntosh is trying to cut back underneath him. He's going to get the run out. He's going to have that inside line going into the right-hander here. But McIntosh in through Campbell. And McIntosh should hold it. Is Haythwaite going to try and go around the outside? He is. They're going to be 2 by 2. Haythwaite wants the inside. McIntosh says no, cuts his nose off, takes that place away. Great run from McIntosh there.
He's done well to keep 4th there after getting past into the final chicane. And Haythwaite now will have to try and regain that place all over again. Hayes will catch up as a result of all this as well. And don't forget, this grid is going to be reversed for race number 2. And so these guys are going to effectively stay in the midfield, and they're going to stay around one another as well. But they'll have even more defending to do, and maybe even more overtaking to do as well, compared to some of those who have gotten to the front for race number 2 in a few moments' time. Just over 5 minutes to go in this race so far. They come to the final chicane again, and Haythwaite not close enough this time but Hayes is right there now, and that doesn't allow Haythwaite quite the same freedom he had not that long ago to try and make a move.
Yeah, 4.5 minutes to go. Haythwaite's going to get on his bike a little bit. Woodhouse out in front to himself, all 2 points, 2 seconds, give or take. King back behind that. McIntosh, Haythwaite and Hayes not very far. Tizera 12.5, then Price 14 back from that. Bosworth does his fastest lap of the race on a 1:16.3. Moss, Gibbons, Addy's 2 lap down, and Burnett's in pit lane apparently. But look at this situation we got here. This is on board with Ben Hayes going into the left-hander.
Well, into always getting close again on the way to the fast right. Nice open line through here, and he'll get a better exit. Haythwaite forced to defend here, and there's no space on the right-hand side, but Hayes doesn't want to go around the outside either in towards Church. I know he's going to miss the apex slightly as well, unsighted by the two in front of him. Couldn't quite see where he was turning in there, and he just leaves a bit of space out front to the two of them. McIntosh on the half defensive, flash of the lights from Haythwaite, who wasn't quite brave enough to dive it down the inside that time round, as they get 3 laps to go, I think, might be 4 laps to go even.
Yeah, 3:35 on the clock. Woodhouse on there has gone over the line as well. Last lap 1:14.7, 15:6. And look at these times behind it, 15:6, 16:1 for Hayes. So you can tell this is affecting these 3 cars fighting because they're not making inroads at all. Last time around 14.8 for Southall, 15 dead for Trafford King. So at the moment, Woodhouse is still the fastest man on the circuit, and he's doing it all from front, out in front, purely because of the fact he's had nobody doing this to him, which is what these 3 guys have been going at each other with.
It just showed, doesn't it, that, well, we already know, but the battling loses you a lot of time, and that's been proven to quite a high degree here, I think. There's been quite a lot of time lost when you start going side by side, and that's something worth noting for the reverse grid race here. I do wonder if someone like Matthew Addy has not had the best race, but clearly has okay pace compared to the rest of the field. I wonder whether someone like him can maybe get away at the front of the field in race number 2 with everybody else scraps for positions behind, remembering that the top guys from this race will have a lot of overtakes to make if they want to get towards the front again for a second race.
Well, effectively they're going to have to make 13, aren't they, because that's how many drivers we got here currently at the moment. So yeah, they're going to have to work hard in race number 2 for the full reverse. But McIntosh, King and Haythwaite just are not leaving each other alone. And you can tell this is really affecting what's going on. They're now 6.2 seconds away from Trafford King, with Hayes not too far in there either. So 1:58, 1 and 1 more, I think.
Yes, I think so. Could be quite close, but yeah, I think what else is going to see the final lap next time round as Haythwaite has a look. Oh, contact was there through Noble as he just keeps it on the road. McIntosh is going to have to floor it to stay, and oh my word, he stays on the straight and narrow somehow. A great save from McIntosh there, who was all out of shape. It was slight contact with Haythwaite, but in the end he gathers it up nicely, forced on the defensive again in time for Church. And Haythwaite, doesn't almost know where to go here as he tries to take the apex. That was a great bit of car control from McIntosh, and it might not be over just yet as Haythwaite closes in. He looks left, he looks right, he looks left again, maybe right again. No, not quite. He's going to get to the end of this here as over the line for Woodhouse. It is going to be the last lap, I think.
Yeah.
And well, it's going to be close again, but no, it will be the last lap as Hayes drops back from this battle for 4th.
Yeah, Hayes was in the wall there. Woodhouse has got 50 seconds to run halfway around his circuit. It could be very, very tight indeed. It is going to be very, very tight, I think, as well. 43 seconds to go, and he's coming through the left-hander at Noble now. Keep an eye and see, but we'll look at McIntosh and Haythwaite. They're continuing to fight. McIntosh out in front, Haythwaite sitting in behind him. Southall, King, Woodhouse down the road. They've gone already. What's going to happen here? Is Haythwaite going to have a go? He's looked quite a few times on the run into Club Ewan. Can he get it on this time?
Well, it's last chance really. Oh, and he's off! McIntosh off, and that might well just spoil the battle. It's going to give the place to Haythwaite without too much argument at all as the seconds tick away here at Thruxton. The first race in the Virtual Circuit Racing TCR Championship from Thruxton. Looks like it's going to go to Luke Woodhouse as the time just ticks away in time. It's the final lap. And at the end of it all, Luke Woodhouse wins just when he needed it as well. Southall finishes ahead of Traffic King, so points are gained there. And in the battle to limit losses, Josh Haythwaite ends up fourth ahead of McIntosh, who finishes in fifth place.
Yeah, Hayes is going to kick himself for making a mistake. But then again, McIntosh is probably going to kick himself harder for making an even bigger one on the final lap there as these guys come over the line. Moss just finishing off. Bosworth will be next, of course. There he is with Mr. Gibbons, who's bumped the wall earlier on. So there we go. Great race that. I like that. Not overly overtaking once they started getting spread out on lap 2.
No, not too much. But, you know, I thought the battle between Haythwaite and McIntosh was a good one. And it sets us up very nicely for race number 2, which will come up very, very shortly indeed, once AC has figured out how to do sessions and how to do the second race in a moment as well of 15 minutes. But while it's a good win for Woodhouse, I think, you know, we saw this at the first race at Oulton Park, the last reverse grid race that we had in this series. It's all well and good doing the first race well, but, you know, it's the reverse grid that's more perilous, and that's, you know, these are the rounds where more points are available. So they've got to get this second one right as well, because the thing that Traffic King has had over everybody else this season is consistency, not finishing outside of the top 3 in terms of points scored all season. That's why he's got a 60-point lead.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just flying, isn't he, currently? You know, and I think it's going to be very, very tough for anybody to try and overturn him with what we've got coming up. Of course, coming up this season, let's not forget, we are at Thruxton, we go to Cadwell, then Brands, then Croft. And if King's at every one, effectively, by the time we get to Brands, could be a distinct possibility that he might have wrapped it up already. So I'm going to find this interesting to see how this one works out.
Well, let's see. We're just 4 weeks away from that finale at Croft. Brands being our final round of the season. Because there are less points on the line at Croft, it might mean that it's more likely to be wrapped up. Certainly if he holds the current margin, it will be. So it's worth thinking about for the rest, about the sense of urgency they need to have now over this week, and especially Brands Hatch as well, when there are those points available. But there we go. Checkered flag waves now, and all the drivers have pulled into pit lane, and they'll get a couple of moments here before they have to get themselves onto the grid for race number 2. As I mentioned, in terms of picks for race 2, I think I find it hard to look past Matthew Addy, to be honest, considering the speed in the sort of first half of that, if you like. But, you know, starting on the front row, which is a big advantage, I find, in these reverse grid races with the others so far behind.
Well, as you saw from that last race, it was absolutely bonkers. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm going to be interested to see how this one goes for these guys. It should be Mr. Burnett up on pole if he's, of course, joins in race number 2. But, yeah, it's anybody that can get away right at the beginning is in with a good chance of winning this race. But, as you saw, between the 3 wide and every other drama that went on, it was Woodhouse that managed to hold on to the position, and he was quite lucky to do so, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an immediate lead for Woodhouse, and just ran away with it after that point, after that 3 wide moment they had, as they get themselves onto the grid again for race number 2. They come thick and fast here in this series. Another 15 minutes now yet to come, and Matthew Addy will be on the pole, so Burnett won't take the start by the looks of it. He got to the end, Addy, a couple of laps down. Now he's got a chance to finish this race in first and see the checkered flag first. Let's see whether he can do that as the lights come on here for a second time from Thruxton. Much longer hold this time, but Annie gets underway decently well, and those behind now swarm him as it's 3 wide already in the background. Traffic King just watches on as they go through the first corner, pretty much door to door. Now over the top of this slight rise and into the chicane for the first time. Not 3. Oh, and a big move down the inside. Look at that move there from Price. Down the inside. Oh, and there's been big spins, unfortunately. Bosworth goes round and to the back of the field. And Gibbons also loses a couple of places here. Could get swallowed up by some of the others who are coming up quickly. 3 wide as they go in towards Noble now as well. But goodness me, this is going to be Traffic King round the outside. How's he going to manage that? Oh, he just about keeps it on the circuit. Great start again from the championship leader, proving why he's got the most points. He is in 5th place already.
Haythwaite having a little bit of a ding-dong with Hayes at the same time. Moss down the order, just dropped down the order, unfortunately for him. But Zera side by side currently at the moment. Oh, takes the nose off Southall. Southall's going to come underneath. Woodhouse is going to say thank you very much, and they're going to try and run 3 wide currently down here into the club as well. Predicted it, and he's got away at the beginning. 1.1 seconds over Price. Southall to Zera side by side into the final chicane. Not quite sure where Gibbons is going, but wherever he's going, he's just cut the massive part of the racetrack. So he will have, I'm going to presume it will be a slowdown. But Haythwaite, Hayes, King, McIntosh all fine now again.
Well, he's lost a lot of time anyway, but he lets a lot of those top names through, like King and Haythwaite and Woodhouse. While King is the headline. Oh, big move down the inside from Hayes this time. That's way too late into the first chicane. Price did something similar on the opening lap. Hayes this time has missed his braking point. They are quite difficult to spot on the left-hand side there, those braking markers, and finding your place to actually hit the brakes is quite difficult through there, and we've already seen 2 people miss that in the crowded start to this second race.
Yeah, it's a little bit chaotic again here once more. These guys can still fight it out. King, Haythwaite, Woodhouse, this is going to be a right little ding-dong, but if they carry on, McIntosh has got to have a fight with Price. They've got to try and have, Addy's point of view, he needs them to have a good old scrap, and then he's going to try and skate down the road. What he doesn't want is McIntosh letting Price nestle into his little comfort zone and chase down Addy, because Addy really wants to just get these 2 fighting.
Yeah, absolutely, but I think the problem for him might be that I think McIntosh is going to get through and pretty quickly as well, and then just be done with Price. But oh, maybe not. Oh, they make contact. McIntosh there very nearly slides all the way round. Price able to keep the position. McIntosh only just able to regather himself. That was pretty hard contact into turn 1, and well, they all get away with it, and it's another bit of breathing space for Addy, who leads now by 1.3 seconds. It's not done by any means with the big names coming through, but it's a few more moments in the lead with no pressure.
Yeah, he's got 11.5 minutes to hold on for. Price is coming out in McIntosh in behind him, then King, Haythwaite, Woodhouse. I expect these 3 to gain pretty quickly over McIntosh and Price, but from Addy's point of view, this is kind of what he wants. Let them catch them, let them fight, and he'll go and escape up the road. That's his plan. Hayes is there. He's running side by side with Tezera at the moment through the right-hander of Church, and Hayes looking up the inside. Tezera's going to run a little bit wide. Hayes has got the better exit for the run down into club.
He's going to have a proper look here alongside very early. This is going to be more than a look. This is going to be a pretty easy pass for Hayes. Oh no, too late. Oh wow, he's made it quite an easy pass. Looked quite difficult there, I think, as Tezera gets straight back through again. Hayes just got that completely wrong. Again, another, I do find this, I've got to say, at Thruxton, the crucial braking zones, the big braking zones, because there aren't many for the 2 chicanes, they're quite difficult to spot the braking markers because they're sort of on the opposite side of the road to really where you want to be looking. And they're quite a long way from the actual circuit itself as well. And I've seen a number of drivers now missing their points now in just the first 5 minutes of this race.
Yeah, Burnett's just missed his place completely, and Moss has just taken him, and Bosworth has just got him as well. And I'm not quite sure what Burnett was doing, but he just completely missed it there, and it all went a little bit wrong as they were going in through Campbell and Cobb. Now going back forward, you can see that Addy's still out in front, but 2.5 seconds now. McIntosh has gone on there. King, Haythwaite have cleared Price, and Woodhouse is stuck in behind him with Southall coming at him quick.
A lot of support coming in for Traffic King tonight, by the way, for Danny Cross and Darren Phillips. Good evening. Danny said Trafford's getting gifted all of these places. It's true to a degree, I suppose, but maybe doing him a little bit of a disservice to the way he's picked himself through the opening lap again. I mean, generally, you know, when you look at one race in isolation, it's fair enough to see it as a bit of a fluke, because sometimes you can fluke your way through the field a little bit, but you know, when he's consistently done it in these reverse grid races, you've got to take your hat off, really. And Traffic King scored the most points from Oulton Park and the third most from Silverstone, the 2 reverse grid rounds so far. And at the moment, these I would say probably scoring second or third most again here.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think he's doing an amazing job as King, but he has got Haythwaite putting pressure on him. In through Goddard, through Goodwood now, and then it's going to be a rundown village. Haythwaite is there once more. King's there. Haythwaite's looking, kept it tight, looking for the inside. I don't know if he probably should have opened it up just a little bit. Through the right-hander. And, oh, big bump on the curb, and King's going to be on the grass.
Well, that's surely going to allow Haythwaite through. If you make a mistake like that in front of one of your big rivals, then they're not going to pass up the opportunity. And Josh Haythwaite goes straight through on the inside line into third position ahead of Traffic King. That was quite easy in the end, and a rare error from Traffic King. Haythwaite, though, lost 20 points, let's not forget, last week, 19 the week before that, 14 the week before that. It's been 3 weeks in a row losing points to Traffic King. He's got to start gaining again now, and therefore not give up this place for the remaining 8 minutes.
Yeah, he's going to have to try and hold on here. It's Haythwaite currently. Woodhouse is tucked in behind. McIntosh still can't get closer to Addy. Addy 1.5 seconds now. He's held on for another 3.5 minutes. Can he hold on for another 8? That's going to be the question for Matthew Addy. He needs these 3 here to really get hold of McIntosh by the scruff of the neck and go for him, because at the moment, I don't know if McIntosh is quicker. Last lap round 1:14.5, Addy on a 15:11. So clearly McIntosh is quicker, so he could really do with Haythwaite, King and Woodhouse getting up to McIntosh and put him under pressure.
Absolutely. Addy doing a good job though of resisting the chase of these guys at the moment though. As they complete 5 laps, I think. They will do 10 in this race, I think. They do 11, something like that. Anyway, they've just gone over halfway in terms of minutes and therefore laps as well. As Woodhouse gets that a little bit wrong through the firing chicane. Not maybe the best line, but the front 5 or 6 or 7 really are very close together. Gibbons no longer close to the leaders like earlier. That's a spin through the firing chicane. That's actually on the racing line there, and I think Gibbons may well. I don't know if he was fully in control of his car there, but anyway, he jumped straight back to pit lane.
Yeah, 1.3 now from Addy. Haythwaite's getting a little bit closer to McIntosh. So from Haythwaite's perspective, and well, from McIntosh's perspective, he hopes he doesn't get there so he can go and have a fight with Addy. But Addy could really do with trying to find some pace in this car. 14.7 last time around, 14.6 in favour of McIntosh. So Addy's still holding his own, doing the low 14s.
Absolutely. But just delaying this catch might be the best call of action at this point, not getting too upset if they catch at some point. Maybe accepting that's going to happen and just trying to delay it as far as possible is maybe the best idea at the moment. Just over a second. See what the lap times are this time. 15.4, 15.2. There you go. So if you can keep that, and very fast lap time from Haythwaite, but if he can keep that at sort of 0.2 of a second and make it sort of 4 laps until he's right there, McIntosh, then that doesn't give him many laps to actually make the pass. So Addy can afford to lose this amount of time. Just keep it at no more than that. Try and limit the damage.
Yeah, if he can just keep it there around about that second mark and let Haythwaite get him, then Addy might be able to hold on here. What he doesn't want is McIntosh just rolling over and getting his belly tickled, right? He doesn't want Haythwaite just pulling right up behind him and McIntosh going, okay, off you go. Because then Addy could be in trouble for the last 5.5 minutes. And that is not going to
help. He's off! Oh, my word. He was in race-winning position, Matthew Addy. He's got to get back on in front of McIntosh. Has he done it here? He's given him space. Oh my word, Haythwaite's going to come through and he's going to take the lead, is he? Oh, Haythwaite has been handed this one on a plate and he comes through right side of one and left side of the other and he goes straight into the lead with 5 minutes to go. What an extraordinary moment there as Matthew Addy gets that completely wrong and through they come in the chicane. McIntosh slowed up as well by it all. Haythwaite now leads, although it's side by side. Traffic King not far behind us. He made the place as well. He's back on the podium. Haythwaite low through into turn 1, takes the place, and King will get a better run there from McIntosh into the chicane. Oh, he'll get thrown the block outside for Traffic King. He's got to brake late and go a long way round, but he's going to. Traffic King up to second place. Again showing his championship winning credentials, and the battle for third might well seal him the position as well.
Look at this. Side by side, Addy did the one thing we said not to do and ran wide out of Goodwood. As soon as he did that, he was chasing his tail all the way through, and that was the problem. He just could not get that car back on the racing line, and unfortunately then he was in through Church and he was still running wide. He tried to go full hard as possible, couldn't make it through. Southall now in behind Woodhouse. They're having a bit of a ding dong. Addy and McIntosh side by side, and at the moment this is not what they wanted to do. They were all very close together, but at the moment it is King and Haythwaite, and these two guys nearly going 3 wide.
Oh, there's contact! Big contact here! McIntosh is going to be in the... Oh, no! Addy, and there's going to be a rollover here! Goodness me! 3 of them off the road down into that final chicane! McIntosh, Addy and Woodhouse all off and all in trouble. Southall goes through. Woodhouse, the race 1 winner, comes out with 4th somehow. Price is going to gain all the places back again. But that was a big moment as well. And how McIntosh didn't, I think it was McIntosh, didn't go up and over into a big roll. I've got no idea. He was on 2 wheels. It was a high-speed point on the circuit, and they made big contact, and the consequences were not as bad as they could have been.
I think McIntosh actually ran the fence. I think he chastained the fence, because I think he was at one point side on to that fence. And I do wonder if keeping your foot in kind of might have saved Chris McIntosh, but how has he not got any form of damage or anything like that? Is absolutely bonkers. Haythwaite, however, said thank you very much, I'll have that. King settled in second now. Southall's just gone, well, if you 4 are going to go off, I'm going through. And that's what he's done. Then you got Woodhouse, Price, McIntosh and Addy, who are still fighting it out, coming into the final 2.5 minutes.
Still going. It's a great battle. Great racing to watch around this circuit. I mentioned that these cars suit this track so well. I think perhaps better than any other category that you can have. And into the final chicane again. This time McIntosh stays in front of Addy, and then Price, who's surely going to get a better run than that. Addy was all out of sorts there, but no. And don't forget, Matthew Addy sort of kicked this all off really by running wide through Goodwood himself, and went from a comfortable lead now to scrapping to even finish in the top 5.
Yeah, it's bonkers. Absolutely nuts how the tides could turn within a couple of laps. And Addy, unfortunately, just threw it away. That's the only way you can explain it, basically. He just threw it away, ran wide, couldn't get the car back, tried to go as fast as possible through Church, and it didn't work out. He ran wide again and just lost it there as well. And that's why he put himself in that situation with McIntosh, because obviously the fact that he made the mistake in the first place.
Well, just a minute and a half to go for these mistakes to be rectified. Oh, it's off in the background. Hayes, that is, this time going for a bit of lawn mowing. Probably it needs it, doesn't it? It's filthily long grass. Anyway,
don't really feel that's an issue at this point of the race.
Maybe not on the racetrack.
Final lap.
Final lap, yeah. Final lap coming up. Traffic King's within a second here. Now, yes, he's within a second, but is he really close enough for a move on the last lap? You can see 2/10 quicker that time round. Well, I think he's going to put the pressure on Haythwaite, but it's going to take a mistake, I think, for him to actually get through.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this could be very, very close here with these guys coming into this final lap. 40 seconds, of course. So, yeah, I don't know if he's going to get close enough unless he absolutely dives in going right into the final chicane.
Yeah, it's not looking likely at the moment. And it's not needed either for Traffic King, it's worth stressing. He just needs another consistent, clean day. And if he's not scored the most points out of everybody today, then he'll score the second most. Either Haythwaite or Woodhouse will have the most. But I don't know, to be honest with you. Maybe King does. It's going to be pretty close between the 3 anyway. And even if King is 3rd of those 3, just losing minimal points is exactly the objective at this point in his season. And it looks like he has managed that, as the seconds now do indeed tick away into the final chicane for the final time. King gives it a very good go, but Josh Haythwaite wins the second race here from Thruxton. A fantastic reverse grid race here in round 6 of the championship. It's King who finishes in 2nd place, race 1 winner Woodhouse in 4th, and a bit further down the battles will continue on, like for 11th place actually, 10th, 11th and 12th. All pretty close together at the moment, but Haythwaite, King and Woodhouse end up exchanging the points fairly evenly there, and the front 3 in the championship remain the front 3, although King will remain over 50 points, I would say, out in front.
Yeah. Oh, go on. Bosworth is not going to get there, unfortunately. I thought he might have got there. Yeah, it's... What am I saying? Yeah, what was we talking about?
Championship lead, the gap.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, King will still hold on to it. We think it's going to be about 50 points. And as I said, with a couple of rounds to go, I wouldn't be surprised if this could be wrapped up if he carries on this. I reckon if he gets through Cadwell, Brands, Bycroft, we may be done, I think.
Yeah, I think it's unlikely to happen next week, isn't it? It might actually be mathematically impossible because of the amount of points available at Brands. Although unlikely that any driver will win both races on an evening in a reverse grid race, it could happen, and so that leaves the mathematical possibility out there. But yeah, we may well be crowning a champion a week early, unless something goes awry for King. But not tonight. He continues his amazing streak of finishing in the top 3 on every single round of this championship, and well, he's only won 2 of them, scored the most points out of 2 of them out of the 6. He is by far the most consistent driver in this field, and that is why he is the championship leader in the Virtual Circuit Racing TCR Championship. That's not Haythwaite on the front straight. I'm not sure who that is, actually.
That's Hayes. Haythwaite's in pit lane.
Oh, no! What's going on there?
I have no idea what was happening there with Macintosh.
Someone's rolled over for some reason. Oh, we got one in the pit lane after the race rather than in the race, which is the wrong way around, really, especially considering the way Chris McIntosh very nearly went off spectacularly. Anyway, let's chat to Haythwaite, shall we, at the end of that race. Oh, I can't drag people.
Hold on, I've got you covered. There you go, Dan.
Oh, thank you very much. Josh, welcome in. Good to have you with us. Congrats on winning the second race here tonight from Thruxton. Tell us about that second race, first of all. I mean, you come from quite a long way back in the field, of course, reverse grid, as we know. And end up winning it with a moment of madness, I've got to say. A couple of laps of madness that you stepped through. Just tell us about that second race, first of all.
Oh, that second race was just running off pure adrenaline. That was frightening to be involved. The first couple of laps was something new that I've not had to take a car through, and that was... I hope it looked as good as it felt.
It certainly did. From our perspective, it was great to watch. How realistic do you think it is that you can still catch Traffic King in this series? Because his second place in this second race here today, even when you're winning, he's right there. The gap's fairly large with 3 rounds to go. Do you still think you can go and chase him down?
It'd be really nice. I'm gonna keep trying. I will keep trying to chase him down, but he is just an incredibly skilled driver, and it's gonna be really tricky. But I'm enjoying the challenge of trying to chase him down, whether I win or not. It's been all about pushing myself to be to kind of Traff's level, which is at the moment the very tippy top.
Well, absolutely. Congratulations, Josh, on winning the second race here tonight. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you go?
Thank you. Obviously, my wonderful fiance, my lovely granddad at home who watches every race, and my work, Falcon Turbos, and you guys, as always, for putting on an amazing stream. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Josh. Congrats again, and we'll see you next week, I'm sure.
Cheers. See you next week.
Thanks very much. That's Josh Haythwaite, who finishes in first place in race number 2 tonight. Traffic King was there, but he's not anymore. We chat to race 1 winner Luke Woodhouse instead, who managed to work his way back to 4th place, I think it was, in the second race of the day in the end. Now joins us. Luke, welcome in. Good to have you with us. And congrats on race 1 victory. It seems very much like it was a case of just running away from the rest while they battled amongst themselves for second place. How much more complex was it for yourself from the driver's seat?
Yeah, I mean, the start was definitely a bit touch and go. I think I didn't get the best of starts, and then it was me, Traff and Josh side by side for pretty much the whole sequence of the first S's. Managed to come out on top, and then it was a quali lap after quali lap is what it was, but it was still probably a 3-second gap to Lee, I think, in P2, so it definitely kept me pushing. There was definitely no room for mistakes or anything. Race 1 was really good.
And then, of course, meant that you had to work your way through the field in the second race. How was that to be involved in coming right from the back?
Yeah, I mean, they're always going to induce a bit more wheel to wheel, a bit more carnage, if you like. It was a slowish start. I think I'll probably gain a couple of positions, maybe one position, I think a couple. Then just chipped away at the positions throughout the race, and then did end up getting up into a bit of contact, which then sort of, we was in a big group of cars, and that sort of dropped me back out of that, and then kept me into P4. But no, it was a good race.
Well, congratulations on both here tonight. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you
go? Just all the guys again who turn up every week, put all the practice hours in, and make some great racing. Wouldn't be able to run it without them, and so far it's been a really good 3 seasons, and look to carry on with all these guys. And thanks again to you both for putting on a really good stream. So thanks for all those.
Thanks very much for coming to chat to us, Luke, again, and we'll I'm sure see you again next week.
Yeah, definitely. Nice one, guys.
Thanks very much, Luke Woodhouse, the first place driver in race number 1, racing his way back through the field in race 2 as well. Next joining us is Lee Southwell, who finishes on the podium in race number 2 in the end for tonight. Lee, welcome in. Good to have you with us as well. Race 2 was by far the most chaotic of the ones for us to watch, and how is it to be involved in and eventually ending up on the podium?
Thank you. Apologies. It didn't seem to connect with you to your first part of what you said. I'm going to guess you're talking about race 1 and race 2.
Just asking about race 2, really. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, race 2 was crazy. I actually really enjoyed it. But for me to snatch another podium, I wasn't expecting that at all. Did you see the coming together after church? Was it?
Yeah. What, the one where Chris nearly rolled over completely?
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I backed out of it. Usually I'm quite brave and I just keep the opinion, but I was like, nah, I'm going to sit this one out. So I backed off, and it actually worked in my favour this time. So,
well, there's maybe a lesson for moving forward as well. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't work every time, but yeah, it was a crash that you could see coming from a long way out, and it did happen for a long time as well. So you were probably right to do that. How did you find racing around here? Because I said at the start of this broadcast that these are probably the best cars to take around Thruxton, although it doesn't suit every car. This track does work well for these. What did you make of it?
Yeah, it was good. I struggled a bit with trying to find the overall quali pace. I totally messed up my quali laps as well. Got nowhere near my best time. So I after that I wasn't expecting much in the races. But the cars feel actually good. Apart from some certain curbs, where the car is you're just controlling the bounce really, rather than the grip. You're just trying to fly over the curb without bouncing too much and losing momentum, and but once you find the line, I didn't really find the line all race, if I'm honest. So it's a different line every lap, I think it was. But I just managed to keep it on the track, which was the main thing. Once you touch the grass here, you may as well kiss goodbye to the tarmac.
Yeah, well, there you go. It's a difficult circuit, but glad you went well tonight. And thanks for chatting to us, Lee. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you go?
Just the normal way, just the guys who run the league. You guys were broadcasting. I think this one should be an interesting watch back, so I look forward to this. Thanks again, guys.
It certainly will be. It was a very exciting couple of races. Thanks again, Lee, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Lee Southall, the podium place driver from one of them from race number 2 here tonight. Third place at Thruxton. Traffic King is just popped himself back in just in time. I was just about to end off, but we'll have a quick chat with the championship leader, shall we? Now that he's ready. Trafford, welcome in. Good to have you with us, and congratulations on another very consistent day and another solid haul of points. Was it race 1 or race 2 where you feel you did the best to squeeze the maximum out of your evening?
I think both of them, I had to just try and get as many points as I could, especially with that ballast. I was fighting, I didn't end up many laps this week, so I was just fighting the pace constantly. So yeah, just steady away. I thought I'd pick some points where there's a few battles going on, but apart from that, it was just pick up what I could really. And
it's been the story of your season really, to be picking up points even while having the ballast. What effect did it have around this circuit? We spoke at the start of the day about the sort of lack of effect that ballast seems to be having sometimes on the actual winner of the previous round. How was it affecting you, weighing you down at Thruxton?
I think it was you didn't really feel it as much. It was just you could tell there was a little bit of pace missed. I think it might have been just out of the slower stuff where it sort of picks up to mid-range and then you then sort of all doing the same thing. Or maybe on fast sweepers where it's just pushing on a little bit. But yeah, apart from that, it wasn't ridiculous. Everyone had the same issues with tyres, so.
Absolutely. And you managed to pick up solid points again. Is anybody like to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, just you boys for putting this on. I can imagine this stream will be a good one to watch back because both them races were absolute carnage, weren't they? So yeah, it should be good.
Yeah, well, I hope so anyway. Congrats again, Trafford, on a solid evening of points, and we'll, I'm sure, see you again next week.
Spot on. Cheers.
Thanks very much, Trafford King, the second place driver in race 2 here tonight, and another solid load of points for him. Well, James, that's just about it for us here tonight. Your home circuit, I think, delivered a pretty good one to end this 6th round of the championship and the penultimate reverse grid round, which I've got to say have been a real hit this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Excuse me if you've been watching a black screen. AC has crashed on me and I've not been able to get it back again. I've tried about 4 different things. It just keeps bringing me up an error message. So apologies if you've just heard voices and you feel like you're staring at nothing. But we are still here. Love Thruxton. Looking forward to next week. Cadwell Park should be another banger as well. And I think this is just going to be an overall great series. I have heard rumours about season 5, but I can't tell you yet.
Well, that's... mean of you to say so.
I know, I'm sorry, but it has to be, yeah.
All right, okay, fine. Just quickly before we go as well, just on points, as I mentioned, those front 3 were very, very similar on points. Luke Woodhouse scored the most with 70. Josh Haythwaite second most with 67. Trafford King third most with 65. So very, very similar across the board. Trafford King still leads by 58 ahead of Haythwaite, then Woodhouse 62 behind. It's all very close, and it will maybe even get closer next week at Cadwell Park. We're not a reverse grid round, but another important round for this championship. So I very much hope you can join us then. For now, this has been the Virtual Circuit Racing TCR Championship from Thruxton. I've been Ewan O'Leary alongside Jez Parfitt until we see you next week for the third last round of the series. It's goodbye for now.